Picture this, and I promise you, this exact moment has happened to you in the last month, maybe even last Friday night. It's 5:30 p.m. The work week is finally over. You've just powered through another grueling 45, 50, maybe even 55 hours of meetings, emails, deadlines, and that endless feeling of never quite catching up. Your body is physically present, maybe in your car stuck in traffic or crammed on a crowded train, but your mind? It's completely checked out, fried, running on empty fumes. The idea of going home and cooking a proper meal, it feels utterly impossible, exhausting, like someone just handed you a backpack full of bricks and said, "Go climb Mount Everest, now." So what do? You grab your phone, open Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever app is your go-to, and you order something comforting. Thai food loaded with flavor, a greasy pizza, burgers and fries that hit all the right spots. 45, 50, maybe $60 with the delivery fee, service charge, and tip. It's not cheap, but hey, you earned it, right? You finally get home, you kick off your shoes, crack open a cold beer, or pour yourself a generous glass of red wine, something to take the sharp edge off the day. You collapse onto the couch, remote in hand, and scroll to some mindless binge-watch show you don't even really enjoy. It's just background noise to help your brain finally shut down. You sink deeper into the cushions and think to yourself, "I deserve this. I worked my ass off all week. This is my reward." But here's the harsh, life-changing truth that's about to hit you harder than any Monday morning alarm. That $45 to $60 takeout order wasn't really $45 to $60. When you factor in all the hidden work taxes, the gas you burned rushing home, the professional clothes you wore that day, the crushing stress that made cooking feel impossible in the first place, you didn't just spend money on dinner, you traded irreplaceable hours of your one precious life for far less than you think. Hi, I'm Alex, and I spend way too much time, probably an unhealthy amount, obsessing over the invisible equations and hidden math that quietly control our lives. The numbers most people never see that keep millions of us trapped on a hamster wheel, running faster and faster just to stay in the same spot. If you've ever opened your bank app after payday and thought, "Wait, where did it all go?" If you're grinding harder in late 2025 than you ever have before, putting in extra hours, taking on more responsibility, but your savings account is still flatlining or barely growing, then stop everything and listen closely. Because today, we're pulling back the curtain on the biggest financial scam in modern life, a scam you're unknowingly committing against yourself every day you show up to work. We're going to calculate your real hourly wage, not the pretty number on your job offer or paycheck stub, the brutally honest one that accounts for everything you actually sacrifice. And I have to warn you up front, this number is going to shock you. It might even anger you, but once you see it, you'll never look at a salary, a promotion, a shopping cart, or even that innocent coffee run the same way again. It's a permanent shift. Here's the core lie we've all been sold since the day we walked across that graduation stage. Your value as a person, your success, your status, your winning at life is defined by your annual salary. You make $65,000, $80,000, $100,000? That's $31, $38, or $48 an hour. Sounds respectable, solid middle class, something to brag about at dinner parties, enough to feel like you're making it, right? Absolutely not. In the real business world, judging a company solely by its top-line revenue while completely ignoring expenses is a guaranteed recipe for disaster, bankruptcy, collapse. Imagine a bakery that brags about selling $1 million worth of bread every year. Impressive revenue, but if it spends $1.1 million on flour, ovens, rent, and staff, that bakery is hemorrhaging money. It's failing miserably. Yet that's exactly how we judge our own labor. We fixate on gross salary, the revenue from selling our time, and we blindly ignore the massive soul-crushing expenses required to earn it. Your time isn't free. Your energy isn't infinite. Your health and happiness aren't disposable. Those are the products you're selling, and the costs of keeping yourself employable in today's world are absolutely astronomical, quietly draining your wealth while you chase that next raise. Let's break it down with a brutally honest audit of a completely average worker in this economy. We'll call him James because he could easily be you, me, or anyone watching right now.
James earns that respectable $65,000 a year, about $31 an hour before taxes. First hit, taxes. Federal income tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare, the usual suspects. That $31 instantly drops to around $23 to $25 an hour take-home, depending on location and deductions. Painful, but we all see it coming. We've accepted it. But now come the hidden expenses, the costs James pays out of pocket just for the basic privilege of having this job. These aren't luxuries, they're requirements. Start with the commute. The average American spends thousands, often $4,000 to $8,000 or more per year on gas, car maintenance, insurance, tolls, parking, or public transit passes just to get to the office and back. If James drives 30 to 60 minutes each way, 5 days a week, that car is essentially a work tool he funds himself. Without the job, he'd barely drive. In big cities, add parking fees or train fares that eat another chunk. Next, professional appearance. James can't roll into the office looking like he just woke up. He needs business casual clothes, shirts, pants, shoes that look polished, dry cleaning or laundry costs, haircuts that maintain the professional image, grooming products, maybe even subtle accessories to fit the company culture. In corporate or client-facing roles, this easily runs $1,000 to $3,000 a year. In some industries like finance or law, it's tailored suits and expensive watches just to signal success. Then the convenience tax. This one sneaks up and hits hard. Because James is locked into a 9-to-5 schedule, often far from home, he can't cook fresh meals every day. So he grabs $12 to $18 lunches out several times a week. He buys $5 to $7 coffees or energy drinks to power through the afternoon slump. He pays for after-school care, dog walkers, house cleaners, or lawn services because he's never home during daylight hours. These aren't optional splurges. They're survival costs created directly by the job.
And finally, the darkest, most insidious category, decompression spending. This is the money we pour out to numb the pain, recover from the stress, and heal the damage our jobs inflict on our mental and emotional health. Think about it. Those Friday night bar tabs or delivery orders, the weekend brunches or treat-yourself shopping sprees, impulse buys on Amazon when stress peaks, therapy sessions to process workplace anxiety, that expensive gym membership you barely use but need for stress relief, the pricier vacation booked because you desperately need to get away for a week to feel human again, retail therapy clothes you don't need, subscriptions to streaming services stacked on top of each other just for escape. These aren't random, they're direct consequences of job-induced exhaustion and burnout. Add everything up, taxes, commute, wardrobe, convenience, and decompression, and James's $65,000 salary doesn't feel so impressive anymore. His true usable income after these forced expenses, often $30,000 to $45,000 or less. In high cost of living areas or high-stress careers, it can dip even lower. But hold on, we're still only halfway through the real calculation. Because true hourly wage isn't just about the money you keep, it's money divided by the actual time you invest. And here's where the numbers get truly devastating. We massively, systematically underestimate how much time our jobs really steal. The official line from HR, 40 hours a week, 2,000 hours a year. Clean, neat, simple. Reality is far uglier. Start with morning prep. Waking up extra early to shower, shave, or do makeup, iron clothes, style hair, pack a lunch if you're disciplined. That's 30 to 90 minutes every single workday of unpaid labor just to be presentable for the employer. Commute time, 1 to 2 hours round trip, 5 days a week, trapped in traffic or transit, stressed and unproductive. Lunch breaks, technically off the clock, but you're stuck near the office. No real freedom to nap, run errands, or see family. Evening recovery, getting home and spending 30 to 90 minutes decompressing, venting to a partner, scrolling social media to zone out, answering quick after-hours emails, or just staring at the wall because your brain can't switch gears. Sunday night anxiety about Monday morning stealing hours of rest. Mental load of planning the week around work.
In total, the average job doesn't take 40 hours a week. It consumes 55 to 70 hours or more when you account for all the shadow work, the unpaid, unacknowledged time that belongs to the job but never gets compensated. That's 2,800 to 3,600 real hours a year sacrificed. Now let's run the unforgiving math. Take James's true usable income, say $35,000 after all hidden costs, and divide by 3,000 real hours. Result? Roughly $11 to $12 an hour. In expensive cities like New York, San Francisco, or London, with higher rents, longer commutes, and more intense decompression needs, it plummets to $8, $6, even $4 to $5 an hour in extreme cases. You're earning less, sometimes far less, than the part-time teenager flipping burgers at a fast food joint. That kid walks or buses to work, wears a free uniform, clocks out cleanly, and leaves the stress at the door. No decompression bar tabs, no professional wardrobe, no Sunday dread. This is the great modern work scam, a high-churn, low-margin trap where you're both the business owner and the overworked product, selling yourself at a massive, heartbreaking loss. You think you're building a comfortable middle-class life. The cold math reveals you're barely scraping by, trading your irreplaceable time for pennies. But here's the crucial part. I'm not sharing this to leave you hopeless or depressed. Quite the opposite. This revelation, first popularized in the groundbreaking book Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez, is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools ever created. It's not about shaming you, it's about empowering you with clarity. Once you know your real hourly wage, let's say yours calculates to $10 or $12 an hour, every single spending decision transforms forever. Walk into a store and see a $150 pair of designer jeans. That's not $150, that's 12 to 15 hours of your life. 15 hours stuck in traffic, 15 hours faking smiles in pointless meetings, 15 hours away from family, friends, hobbies, or rest. Is it worth it? For most people, the honest answer is a resounding no. Promotions start looking suspicious too. That exciting $15,000 to $20,000 raise to senior level, it often comes with 10 to 20 extra hours a week, pricier clothes to match the title, more takeout from late nights, fancier cars to signal status, and expensive vacations to recover from the burnout. Net result? Your real hourly wage could actually decrease. You process more money through your accounts, look successful on paper, but keep less and sacrifice more. And the most terrifying hidden cost of all? Opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend on these job-related expenses is a dollar you can't invest for the future. That $6 to $8 daily coffee run because you're too drained to brew at home? Over a 30-year career invested at a conservative 7% return, that's $250,000 to $400,000 vanished. You're not buying caffeine, you're buying away your retirement, your financial independence, your ability to ever escape the cycle. That commute gas money, the decompression drinks and shopping, the wardrobe upgrades, all of it compounds into hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars in lost wealth over a lifetime.
The entire system is designed for you to stay too exhausted to notice. Tired, stressed people don't run spreadsheets on their lives. They keep chasing the next salary bump, buying more stuff to cope, financing bigger cars and apartments to match the lifestyle, all while staying chained to the job that funds it. It's a perfectly engineered trap, but you can escape it. You can flip the script and start building real wealth. Here's how, step by step, to raise your real hourly wage and reclaim your life. First, do the audit this weekend, not when you're exhausted Friday night, but when you're fresh. Grab a notebook or spreadsheet. Track every job-related expense for the past month. Gas, lunches, clothes, coffee, subscriptions, therapy, everything. Estimate your shadow hours honestly. Prep time, commute, decompression, worry. Calculate taxes on your gross. Divide true usable income by true hours. Get that number. Write it big. Put it on a sticky note on your wallet, your phone, your bathroom mirror.
Second, ruthlessly slash the hidden costs. Negotiate remote or hybrid work immediately. Even 2 days a week saves thousands in commute and boosts your real wage without a single extra dollar from your boss. Master meal prepping on Sundays. Batch cook simple, healthy meals and cut convenience spending by 70% or more. Build a minimalist capsule wardrobe, 10 to 15 versatile pieces that mix and match. Stop buying trends or status symbols nobody truly notices. Replace expensive decompression with free or low-cost alternatives. Long walks, free workouts, calling friends, reading, journaling, meditation apps. Relocate if possible. Move closer to work or find a job with shorter commute. Even 20 minutes saved daily adds up massively over years. Question every professional expense. Do you really need that dry clean only shirt? Can you find multi-purpose clothes? Every dollar an hour reclaimed is an instant tax-free raise. Third, shift your mindset. Treat your life like a smart, profitable business. Successful businesses don't obsess over revenue alone. They maximize margin, profit after expenses. Your margin is the time and money left over to actually live, enjoy, and build wealth. A $120,000 salary with $100,000 in job costs and 70-hour weeks? Failing business on the verge of collapse. A $70,000 salary with $35,000 costs and 45 real hours? Thriving, high-margin enterprise with room to breathe, save, and invest. Fourth, use your real wage as the ultimate filter for every decision. Before any non-essential purchase, is this worth X hours of my life? That simple question creates massive friction against impulse buys. You'll naturally spend less, save more, and redirect the difference into investments that compound. Finally, start building income outside the traditional job trap. Side hustles, investments, passive streams, anything that generates money without the same crushing hidden costs. Stack these changes and your real wage can double or triple in a year or two. Time is rapidly becoming the ultimate luxury currency. The wealthy aggressively buy it back through efficiency, delegation, and smart systems. The rest of us sell it cheap day after day. Don't be that person anymore. Run the numbers, face the truth, cut the chains. The gap you create between earning and sacrificing is where true freedom begins. Freedom to work because you choose to, not because you're trapped. You deserve far better than trading your life for pennies. Take back control today. The math doesn't lie, and neither should you to yourself.